All right, everybody, here we go. Here we go. We are back for another live in love and relationships. So glad you joined us this afternoon, this evening, whatever you want to call it. We have a special guest with us back in the building this week. Y'all say hello to Chantel Simone.
Hi everyone, and thank you for having me, JD.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Last time you were on, we had a really good discussion, and I think we are going to do the same thing this week. Listen, I want y'all to like this video, share this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if you want to join the Facebook group, the link is down in the description. And after this video goes live, I'm going to be sure to link Chantel's information down in the description too, so y'all can go subscribe to her channel and binge watch her videos as well. But all right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our first topic. And what we want to talk about today is, do modern women know how to keep a man? Do modern women know how to keep a man? I know what my thoughts are on this subject, but as per usual, ladies first. We'll give Chantel the first go. Chantel, do you think modern women know how to keep a man these days?
Well, based on what I've been observing, with contents going around, I would say no, not necessarily. Many of us were taught how to live without a man instead of how to keep a man, how to work with a man. So we have this narrative like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need a man for anything. And we adapt that mindset that men are only here for their wallet and for, the bedroom fund. So unfortunately, many of us don't know how to keep a man because growing up we were taught to not have to depend on a man for anything, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I 100% agree with you. But my concern is why. Uh, we all know that men, young boys, whatever, we're always taught how to treat a woman, and you got to treat a woman like this, open the door for, protect, provide, and whatever else comes with that, being a provider male, right? But why is it that many modern women were never taught how to communicate with a man or work with a man or even how to treat a man?
So I would have to say it's honestly out of fear. I can speak for myself with this one, not having a reliable father figure in the household. So my mom and the woman who raised me, kind of protected me from not having to go through what they went through. And what they went through is not having a reliable man. So I think like a lot of us were raised with the mindset where secure your bag, get your education, do you, so you don't ever have to depend on a man. And you hit on a really good point, because a lot of these young men are taught how to treat a woman, open the car door for her, buy her flowers, buy her roses. But women, young girls, aren't taught how to reciprocate. We're not taught what men want. That's why so many of us think that what men want are our education. And then when content like such as yours coming out, telling these women that men care about your education but not don't care as much as we think they do. That's why you guys get this backlash, because growing up we were told get your education, so we thought, okay, this must be what men care about. But going back to it, I think it's honestly just fear. Our parents or moms not witnessing a reliable man and wanting to protect us from going through what they went through, having to do it on their own. They just taught us, hey, secure your bag and get your education so you never have to depend on a man.
Okay, so you're saying that correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm kind of getting it from two ways from what you're saying. Are you saying that the women were fearful of the young girls, and or are you saying the older women instilled fear in them about men? Am I making any sense?
So the older woman, the latter, the older woman instill
Mm,
fear in us about men, but the older women were coming from a place of fear as well.
okay. Okay, got you. So I guess what I'm seeing is, and what part of the problem is, you said fear is part of the problem, coming from two ways in our communities, and then I think a lot of it is the fact that women think that men value women the same way that women value us. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I can talk on this topic because I too was one of those modern women who thought that going to school and getting my education would increase my sexual marketplace value.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until not getting my desired results and actually start listening to the opposite sex, listening to the other side, that's when I noticed that we got the wrong information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about it on this show a couple of weeks ago, but that viral TikTok video that's been going around with the young lady saying that men don't value the education, the amount of money you make or whatever, because men that are on their purpose, on their grind, they're looking to be that provider, taking on the brunt of the financial load for the household. So I think that women think that if they're making six figures, oh, then that should put them above somebody else. But really, all we want is a lot of peace and understanding and inspiration from our women. It's not that we think that you're lesser than or whatever, but men have this natural desire to want to protect and provide for a feminine woman. And I think that's what a disconnect is. Men are looking for women who are more feminine, but a lot of times it seems like the women are becoming more masculine, and that turns a lot of men off a lot of the times. And the sad thing about it is, a lot of the modern women don't even realize they're doing it. They've been doing it for
Mm-hmm.
so long, or had to do it for so long, to now it seems like that's just the norm. That's how everybody is, and they don't notice that they're doing it. And men don't really, until now, really had a platform to come out and say this. You know what I'm saying? So
But you know what, JP? You touch on a good point because that also ties back into that fear aspect of it.
mm,
Because we're thinking that, okay, I need to secure my bag. I need to get my own in case, the Waiting to Exhale movies and all those Tyler Perry movies tell us that
mm,
once a man is successful and if we depend 100% on him, he's going to leave us. So then we have to protect ourselves to get our own, to get our bag. So then no, we hear platforms like the Manosphere, like here is saying, hey, men don't really care about your money. Men don't really care about your degree. So we're thinking if we're in survival mode, right? If we're trying to
mm.
survive in case men screw us over, and then we have a group of men telling us, wait, we don't care about your money. We're subconsciously thinking that you guys are trying to sabotage us. You guys want us to get rid of our money. You want us to get rid of our degree. That way you can control us and confirm the narrative that those Waiting to Exhale movies and those Tyler Perry movies tell us.
So are you saying it's a bit of a power struggle? Women don't want to give up that power or that sense of control or that extra security that they have within themselves to, be able to
Mhm.
go off and do their own thing, and have that safety net to themselves.
And that's why they fight so hard, because to me it's like when I found out that men desire fit, feminine, friendly, inspirational peace, I was like, oh well, that's simple. But
Hmm.
to other women who were raised to protect yourself, to survive, that's their barrier, that's their armor, their education. And then if you're telling them to give it up, it's not that simple. So that's why we're having this clash, especially as content like this grow, as channels like this grow, we're getting this
Yeah.
clash because you're telling women to let go of their armor, to surrender their flags.
Right. Right. Yeah. And a lot of women are simply just not willing to do that. And I think that a lot of the men are waking up and trying to do better and being more on their purpose and on their grind, because you know I'll just go ahead and say it. a lot of guys are tired of being simps. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys are tired of feeling demasculated in their relationships, going back and forth, to arguing, stubbornness, and you know, it's really insane out here. Women want men to leave what they have going on, and want them to get on their program instead of the opposite. And it's really it's frustrating and it's sad to me. It's we got a guest coming on. We got the Alabama church girl coming on, and it's really sad. I'm gonna add Val on. Hello,
Beep beep toot toot. Hey good people.
what's going on, Val? You all right?
It's the Alabama Church Girl, and as you can see, I am on location.
Yeah, I see. I see. Okay, okay, but you've been listening. You got something you want to chime in?
Uh no, I actually have not been listening in just yet, but I was just chiming in, just trying to get in the conversation. I know it's all
Oh,
good. What love and relationships group.
yeah, it is. So you see the title at the bottom of the screen. You see the thumbnail and everything like that. Do modern women know how to keep a man? Is what we're talking about. What are your thoughts on that, Alabama church girl? We're dying to hear it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you know what? Do you mind if I turn my camera off?
I don't mind. Go ahead.
So, given the fact that I consider myself a modern woman
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that I am in a long-term relationship at this point, I would say with my little measly
Val, you were cutting out there for a second.
sure there are other women just like me who know how to keep a man. I feel
Mm.
like if my little measly self can do it, there are probably tons of other women who can do it as well.
Uh
So I
huh.
would say yes.
But are they doing it?
Now you know I gotta go churchy on you. You know the the good old preacher likes to preach that you can't keep nobody if they don't want to help.
Well, true. But I will say this. Look, some of you modern ladies know how to run one off too.
That's usually in reference to the Holy Spirit trying to keep a person saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. And sometimes you might be right. There are some women that will run a man off, but
Hmm.
sometimes there are some men that need to be let go. So I feel like it's basically based on the couple that come together.
Hmm.
Um, it's got to be an agreement. There's got to be a meeting of the minds at the table.
Okay, now, what do you mean about the meeting of the minds at the table? Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
So you're not going to ever have people stay. I'm sorry, I'm getting messages as we're speaking.
No,
You're
you all
never,
right?
you're never going to have anybody stay in a situation when they're not in agreement on the situation. Just like the word says, how can two walk together unless they agree? Now, everybody has the opportunity to explore and design their relationship for what best suits them. Sometimes you may have one partner who like to be in a relationship but also have advantage to other people as well. And you may have the other partner who does not feel that same way. If they didn't come together at the table and agree upon one thing, that's a relationship that's not going to make it. They're not going to end up staying together. Whereas another relationship might be one party likes to wants the advantage of having a relationship, but also wants the advantage of exploring other people. Whereas the other party might feel the same way. And if that meeting of the mind happened, they had that conversation, they came to that agreement, they just might stay together. You understand
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and let me ask you this question too: have women been taught how to treat a man? That's another thing that we're talking about too. Uh, Men are taught from a very young age, treat a woman this way, open the door, be chivalrous, all that good stuff. But do you think that women were ever taught how to treat a man?
Well, here's the thing. Yes, 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 yes. But women are given Barbie dolls and baby dolls and Ken dolls since they were little bitty girls. They've been taught what to do, what to say, how to act to be a wife and a mother.
Mm-hmm.
But we do live in a modern world. You don't necessarily have to sit somebody down and explain what to do and what to say and how to act anymore. Everybody,
Mm-hmm.
there's a righteous indignation in your spirit that tells you how to treat somebody. And not only that, we tell each other how to treat each other when we set boundaries. Like, I'm pretty sure anybody that comes in contact with me knows, don't cuss at me. I'm not going to disrespect you like that. Don't disrespect me like that. And when you try it, guess what? There's a boundary. If
Mm-hmm.
you cross it, I'm going to let you know you in foul territory. So we teach each other how to treat each other. So it's not that a mama has to sit down and tell her baby, okay, you got to do this for the man and you got to do that, because that's really old school. That's really very traditional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold that thought, Chantel. You look like you wanted to say something, and then I'm gonna come back to what I had to add. Chantel, do you want to add something?
Yeah, so just going back to the topic, we mentioned earlier how women leading with our education, leading with our success, thinking that men want that, thinking that men are impressed by only what how our highest degree level of degree or how much money we make. So that simple fact that we didn't know that men aren't as impressed by that as much as we thought, shows that many of us weren't raised to know how to what a man want, how to be a man's piece. It's more than just wash, cook, and cleaning, and it's more than just playing with our Barbie dolls here. It's like how to be a man's piece, how to have a man relax and take the stress away from your man when he's in your company. So yeah, so to the point, many of us unfortunately, not having a mom and dad in the household, or sometimes having a mom and dad in the household, but the mom being the masculine one, the mom being the one that makes the decisions and discipline the kids, and have the final say, or is a partnership in the relationship. Many black women weren't taught how to be the simplest things that men want in a relationship.
Right, and I can speak from experience. It's been sometimes you've been in a relationship where you can't wait to get home, and that's all you're thinking about all day at work. And then there's other times where you drive around the block 3 or 4 times because you don't want to go home because you know what's waiting on you. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's what
Yeah, I'm just keeping it a stack. But Alabama church girl, you said something interesting that caught my ear. You said the fact that about mothers telling their daughters or teaching their daughters how to treat a man or whatever. You said that was really traditional and old school. Now this is what I see with that. My problem is that if you ask the majority of women, 90% of them will, probably more, will describe a traditional man as what they want in a man. Being able to provide, lead, protect, carry the family load, whatever. But women don't want to be traditional either. Now, I'm not saying, you got to stay at home barefoot and pregnant, but I mean, gender roles is a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem that I have with the whole traditional old school thing. Yeah, I know we have double standards, but this is a double standard that kind of gives men the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying?
The same thing. Everybody doesn't want the same thing. For one man, a traditional woman might work. For another one, that just might not work for him. That's not what he's looking for. Same thing goes with a woman. For some women, a traditional relationship just might work. Some women don't want to be nothing but a wife and a mother. And for some other women, it just might not work. That's why I say just sitting the women down, sitting the girls down, teaching them. That's a little bit traditional. And we're living in a new day and age where most, from what I can see, and from what the statistics show, most parents are encouraging both the male and female child to go out and educate themselves, to go out and explore the world and live their life, more so than teaching them how to keep home.
Okay, but
probably learned by observing more than just a sit down lecture.
And I think a sit down lecture. I think that's a little bit unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? You can teach your children by being the example and showing them right without just
exactly
sitting them down, pointing the finger in their face. But and another thing you said that I think is problematic in our community and culture these days about exploring the world. What exactly does that mean? Exploring the world, and then
I want mine to travel. I do.
Huh?
I want my child to travel the world.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to explore everything that he wants to do in his career. I want him to get to his highest potential of earning so that he can take care of his family. One thing for sure, legacy is important to me. I want my son to be able to take care of his family. And I want to be in a position as grandma to be able to spoil my grandbabies.
Okay, yeah, I hear you, and you have a very fine young man there on your hands. Kudos to him. Shout out to him. But that's exactly what he's supposed to do. Make sure he gets to his highest earning potential, because that's what women like to look at. He needs to be able to provide for his family, right? Is that not traditional in old school too?
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to want a woman that just stays at home
Mm-hmm.
and takes care of the family. His wife might be as high in her earning potential as well. We never know. I don't know what he's going to, how he's going to design his relationship. But like I said, every couple is going to be different. Their relationship is going to be designed differently. I don't think that it's fair to expect every couple to be traditional. I don't think that it's fair to expect every woman to have a traditional mindset, because that's just not going to be the case. Everybody is not the same. God made us all different. But it's okay to have your preference that I prefer a traditional relationship. I prefer a person with a traditional mindset, if that's what you want.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I'm picking up what you're putting down. But what I'm saying is, it seems like the woman wants a traditional on one side. Am I making any sense? The woman doesn't want to be traditional in any sense.
Every woman wants
that. Would you say it's the majority though?
I don't know. I don't know if I could say that.
Yeah, well,
because the reason I say that is because I'm not in everybody's relationship. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I can say that. I don't know if there's any statistics that prove whether women prefer to be in a traditional relationship or prefer to be in a modern relationship. I don't know if there are any statistics out there that tell us that. But what I do know is the women that I I come in contact with, the stories that I hear, the experiences that are shared openly about relationships, they're not all the same. They're always different. We look at the show Black Love. Every one of those relationships have come together differently. They are designed differently. So, you know,
Mm.
it's open field, open territory. Everybody, there's gonna be somebody for everybody. But that mean that everybody is for you, that one somebody. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Chantel, what you got for me?
So I find that a lot of times when people talk about topics like this, they're very narrow minded with their thinking, like, oh, you're either traditional or you're modern, and there's no in between.
Mm.
You know, it's either you're in the boardroom on the top of your company or you're in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, without stepping back and realizing that every relationship is different and every person you get in the relationship with is going to want something else. So a man might want a majority traditional woman in terms of her gender role. You know, she take care of the home, she cooks, she cleans, she nurture the kids, but at the same time she can still go out and work. So it's not one or the other.
Right. I think that's very, very important too. Because as soon as the word traditional wife comes out, or the word submissive or cooperative comes about, the first thing everybody thinks about is barefoot and pregnant.
The
I
color
mean,
purple.
right, right. That's the first thing that everybody thinks about. And it's like, it's almost like, nails on the chalkboard to a lot of you ladies. You know what I'm saying? But I think you made a very good point there. And another thing that I see about the modern women is that, of course, traditionally, the women were more submissive, you know, back in the day or whatever, traditionally. But as soon as a man says that he wants a woman to be cooperative and submissive, you know, it's like, oh, well, you're trying to take my power away, or you know, a lot of women, and I would just be honest from what I see, want to have something to hang over the men, whether it be a house, the fact that they pay 50-50 on the bills or whatever, because I've heard it come out of a lot of women's mouth. If I'm paying 50-50, I don't have to be submissive. But if he paying 100% of the bills, then okay, I'll be submissive.
And you know, it goes back to what we talked about earlier, that
Mm-hmm.
fear. You know, being able to pay half the bills and being able to contribute financially to the household is many women armor. You know, so if they were raised on this fear to never allow a man to pay 100% of the bill, because then he'll control you and he can just color purple you, or I'm waiting to exhale you and leave you at any time, then they have to have that power dynamic. They have to have that, oh well, I'm contributing to the bills, just so if he leaves, at least
Mm.
I mean, he needs me because he needs me to pay half the bill.
Right, right. Val, you got something you want to add to that?
No, not specifically. I do agree that relationship doesn't have to be one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it doesn't. I think that maybe what you've experienced or you've seen is someone not being able to articulate how they want their relationship to be designed. For me, it works that it works well for both of us to participate in each gender role, because both of us are working full time. So sometimes I cook and clean, sometimes he cooks, he cleans, sometimes I pay, sometimes he pays. It works well
Mm-hmm.
when we're cooperating with one another, we're submissive to one another. That works well for me. But that might not be what someone else, that might not be what the next lady wants. she might want to just totally comply with whatever he wants. And that might work well for them. But each couple, like I keep saying, have the opportunity and free will to design their relationship with whatever works best for them. And like I said initially, when they come to a place of agreement on what works well for them, when you find the formula, then that's where the stick to it comes in. That's how you're able to have long-term relationships and long-term love success. When you have that cooperation, hey, we have this agreement. Like Miss Tabitha Brown stated about her and her husband this week. Me and my husband came into an agreement with one another of how things were going to work. He took care of me for so long. Now I'm in a position to take care of him. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I feel you. And a lot of people came for Tabitha Brown for that too. You know what I'm saying? And I get it
But it
100%.
worked for them.
Yeah, it absolutely worked for them. But I got a question for both of y'all. Y'all talking about gender roles or whatever. And Val, you talking about, you know, sometimes you cook, sometimes he cook or whatever. You ain't say nothing about cutting that grass or doing no yard work. Either one of y'all gonna cut grass? Come on now. Be honest.
I'll call a yard man over.
See, exactly. You ain't cutting no grass.
No,
that's a gender role, right?
That's not my ministry. You wouldn't want me to do it either.
Exactly. and it's the same. It's the same thing, you know.
You wouldn't want me to do it.
And is that not traditional though? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want my lady cutting grass either. But yet I gotta cook, I gotta clean, but she ain't finna get out there and weed eat and cut back bushes and trim the hedges or none of that. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I will pay somebody to get it done. My mama did that. My mama never got out there to do yard work. But when my dad was no longer able to physically get out there to do it, she paid somebody to make it happen. He became disabled, and my mama paid somebody to come do it. She didn't personally have to get out there to do it, but it got done.
I hear you. I saw Chantel. Were you shaking your head now?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not cutting no grass. I mean, in relationships, when I'm in a relationship, you know, I know that there's even in a relationship, not a marriage, there's still gender role in dating relationships, and my boyfriend knows that whenever the oil light comes on in my car, I'm not taking that into the mechanic. Like, that's not my role. But at the same time, you know, like, there are different roles that he wants me to do, and I'll gladly do it. Again, it just comes back down to the relationship, to the individual. You know, one thing that many of us know, you cannot have two chefs in the kitchen. So you can't say, oh, you know, we share roles, because realistically, in every organization, in every kind of partnership, I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if that's from me. But in every relationship, in every partnership, there are roles. There are roles to be played, and a relationship, marriage is a partnership. It is a relationship. It is a business, if you want to say so. There are roles. And if one partner want to help out with a role, then yeah, but you know.
Moving silence says sound like they refuse to play that feminine role. Man, you know, I don't know if it just seems like to me, man, too many women are masculine and just have a problem getting in that feminine role. You know, it might work for a little while, and you know, then that masculine side starts to come out again. You know, and another thing that I find is that need to be right. It's almost like some women need some kind of validation just to have something over men. Some, not all, just in some cases. But I got another question that I want to ask to both of you. What percentage of the financial load are you willing to carry for your family? We'll start with you, Chantel. Ideally.
Ideally, okay, so how I see it, right? And I know I get called a pick me for this all the time. I have no problem giving my husband my paycheck. I don't see it necessarily as like a percentage I would like to carry. I see it more as like a joint account. So I get paid, the money is deposited in that. He's the head of the household, so he decides what he wants to do with it. I know though, after pregnancy, I do not want to have to get up and go to work to pay bills, to pay the significant bills. So I set myself up where once that time comes, we don't have to be, I don't have to be struggling with my husband. You know, we don't have to be struggling financially. So thinking ahead in that sense. But yeah, I mean, financial load, I think that we both like to put our paycheck in the accounts and say, okay, then this percentage of your paycheck goes for here and this percentage. I think that's more roommates kind of living, and I'm not for that. My man is the head of the household, so he for lack of better words controls my paycheck.
Okay. That's something you don't hear often, definitely. Alabama church girl, what you got for me?
That's not how I feel. No, ma'am.
How do you feel?
No, ma'am. No, Pam.
How do you feel? Tell
We
us.
talked about this before. Where is Emmanuel?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he is, but yeah, I want to get your thoughts on it because I have this video that I want us to react to briefly, and I think it's we'll see. I think it's a pretty accurate picture of what a lot of modern women think, and it's a lot more simps out there than what you probably think. So yeah, I want us to. I want to get your thoughts, and then we're gonna react to this video.
So, like I was stating, I've been in a position that Chantel just explained, and that's what I thought I wanted when I first got married, my first marriage, and it turned out terrible for me. So, from my experience, my personal experience taught me to do things differently, to move a little differently. So that's not how I feel. I don't want to explain specifically how we work, but the way we work has worked for us for some years now. So it works well for us. That's how we're gonna keep things going.
Okay, that's fair, very fair. I've been in a lot of different situations where, lady felt like, hey, my money is my money, your money is our money, which I don't know how I feel about that 100%. I don't think I like it too much. Then I had a situation where, okay, my money is my money, your money is your money, and you pay this, I pay this, and that's that. And then another situation where, and this is where I prefer it because most women, of course, want to contribute in some kind of way. They don't want to just have a man paying everything, but they do want him to carry the majority of the load, if not all. But if a woman wants to contribute, let's say up to 20%, that's fine. And she, pays the smallest bills or whatever, and make sure, got food in the house or whatever. And that's that. But I will say that a lot of modern women will not give up control of their paycheck to that man. Just not happening. I think that's awesome. That shows a great level of trust, and a lot of men do it, and vice versa. A lot of men, even if their wives don't work, they might give their whole paycheck to their wives, and then their wives give them some pocket money. I've seen that happen. Go ahead, Chantel.
JD, so I have a question. So that situation where she pays 20% off the load and he pays 100. What is she doing with her other 80% though?
What part of it she buys grocery and whatever else she wants to do with it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, hey,
Yeah, yeah, short end of the
if it
stick,
works,
right?
it works. If it works for
Yeah.
some people, it works. To me, I mean, I think that seems a little selfish. If I'm in a relationship with this man and we're both building a life together, we're having kids together,
Mhm.
and then like I am holding on to my paycheck for what? It seems as though I'm plotting out. It seems as though like let me stack some money aside in case he leaves me, then at least I
Yeah.
have a backup plan. But it's like, what about his backup plan? If he's spending 100% of his paycheck on the household, what about his backup plan?
Yeah, well, and see, that's where a lot of men catch the short end of the stick. Exactly. We don't get a backup plan. But
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw the stat. I believe Kevin Samuels was talking about 50% of women do have a backup plan. Another guy, in the friend zone just in case. And a
Mhm.
lot of men, they might have a backup lady, but they don't have a backup exit plan, and that's why a lot of men come out, a divorce or breakups, financially ruined.
Mhm.
And the lady is fine. Go ahead, Val. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Chantel.
it goes back to the fear that we even talked about earlier. A lot of us, myself included, were raised to say like never tell a man how much you make, and always
Mm-hmm.
in Jamaica we call it the get vexed money. I know they call it something in America. I can't remember the
Mm-hmm.
term, but get vexed in case the guy gets upset with you, in case the guy leaves. You have your little stash that he doesn't know about. But if you're going into a marriage with that mindset, where it's like, oh, let me put some money aside, you're basically going in there expecting the marriage to fail, or you're going in there
Mm-hmm.
with bad faith.
Right, right. And I think that's why a lot of women aren't really willing to stay in a relationship or whatever, because they don't have to, because they have a getaway plan. If it was a situation where, okay, we trust each other more, I trust you 100%, whatever, I got this invested into this marriage and I don't have a getaway plan, I think the divorce rate would go down and women would be a lot less likely to file for divorce.
And the court system is in our favor. We see that in divorces. And shout out to
Yes.
Charmaine James. That's actually my aunt, Charmaine.
Oh,
But we
hey,
see
Aunt.
that in the court system. We see it's in the woman's favor. That's why 80% of divorces are filed by women, because we have our backup plan, but the
Mhm,
government, the court system is going to rule in our favor. Until we start
mhm.
talking about this, men are going to continue to fail and not want to be in marriages with us.
Right, right. You have no idea the amount of men that I hear saying, "Yo, it's not worth the risk to get married." And I where a lot of men are saying that, to protect themselves or what have you, but the reality is a lot of the men want to get married and want to get married to black women. But a lot of us are scared for getting ran through the ringer. As soon as you say something she don't like or whatever, World War III. And then first time you raise your voice, you the worst thing this side of heaven. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of men are not really going for it anymore. But then I got this video I want us to react to. All men are not created equal. So I want to play this video and we're gonna react to it. And yeah, we'll go from there.
What y'all saying? Y'all play with me? Okay. Okay. My wife makes 3 times more than I do a month. You think I'm embarrassed? You think I'm hurt? Not being the breadwinner? Not one bit. I do the dishes like a good little husband I am. Thoughts?
I'm so sorry. Like,
Why does he have to call himself little? Why does he have to call himself little? Because he's doing the dishes. Like, that's already the problem. He already sees himself as less because he's taking care of the home. You're not like you're
No, but
the teammate.
is it? Wait. Is it him or is it society though?
See, at the end of the day, I actually don't mind making more money than my man, but I don't think his ego can handle it. Because if I say I don't want to hear too much bass in your voice in the household, otherwise I'll withdraw your pocket money. No fully functioning man is going to like that. It's a double standard. Society has done that to us. So that's the reason why I don't think it's going to work completely. Obviously, so
Yeah, I got to stop it right there. Yeah, and this is part of the reason that there's a disconnect in our community, because women have this mentality about making more than a man, and men are passing up the ladies that make a substantial amount of money that are available because of attitudes just like this. Go ahead, Chantel. I want to hear what you got to say about this.
Definitely. By nature, women are hypergamous. We always, no matter what a woman say, she want to look up to her man. She want that alpha, strong man that you can that leads. That she feel as though she can respect. A woman disrespecting a man, it shouldn't be your finances shouldn't be the reason why you get respect from your woman. Your ability to provide shouldn't be the reason why you are the head of the household. Unfortunately, though, many women equate only finances to a man's ability to be a man. So if he's not making enough money, if he's not making more than her, then he's not, manly enough. And then we have these women who are saying like, oh well, I make this amount, that I'm better than you. And when she said, I don't want to hear bass in your voice, like, I mean, come on, that's just
right. Yeah, that is blatant disrespect.
Yeah.
But sadly, I mean, this is some, not all, even most. This city girl attitude, this Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B attitude. Yeah, this is sad. This hurt my feelings, but I gotta blame the dude too. I can't put it all on her because I gotta blame the dude for letting this happen. Talking about he a good little husband, that ain't what's up. But you got to put some responsibility on the simps that are allowing this behavior. Let's go a little bit further.
Society is making him feel that way. They're making him feel like he is less of a man because he's not taking on the stereotypical gender role of a man. But those gender roles are actually very toxic, and we're not in that age anymore.
Okay, so let me. One second, Baba.
No. You said something before we go crazy.
Oh, and she said those gender roles are toxic, and that behavior that she just displayed isn't toxic.
And it's going back. I remember the last time I was on your platform, we talk about the patriarchy. It's going back to that mindset where it's like people think that everything that's associated with men leading and men being masculine and the patriarchy is toxic. It's like, what is so toxic about a man leading and a man being a man? And we contradict ourselves because she can say that those behaviors are toxic anyways, but really and truly she desires a man who's going to lead and provide and protect.
Right, exactly. And I can't see who put this comment in, but he made a really good point. They got fake bodies, fake hair, fake thoughts, but want a real man. I think I know who that is, but I mean, exactly. They say it all the time. You're not a real man if you don't do this. But I don't know. It came up on the platform a couple weeks ago about men getting the fake hair pieces and the fake toupees on. Women don't like that stuff, but yet they got all the they look like a whole different person sometimes, But let's go a little bit further.
Basically, with all these things in a relationship, there's other parts of the relationship in addition to money that needs to be looked after. The home is one of it. So if my partner is looking after the money, then that means I take on whatever needs to be looked after. Now, society and all of that stuff, it is toxic. It has been embedded in us. But at the same time, to work as a collective, you have to do what needs to be done.
However, one thing is that from what I've heard from what was said, yeah, she's earning 3 times more. Yeah. My man is like, he's not striving for more. He's happy to stay at home. Yeah. That's the issue. Yeah. You're gonna try to say like he can stay at home. He can do his dishwashing, Hoover, make her bed and everything. However, like you have to keep on elevating. If your girl's elevating 3 times more, that's a lot. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. Okay. But with that being said,
if he's not working, he's a bitch. Or if he's helping out with the house work, he's not a bitch.
Okay, can we not call people bitches? Yeah, can we not do that?
He is a bitch, and in the bedroom, that's what she calls him.
But we don't know this. We don't know the dynamic. We don't know anything. We don't.
He is
absolutely 100% demasculating men, and they don't see a problem with it.
Yeah. I would say it's a mixture of these unrealistic expectations that we have. I do agree the gentleman's statement in some sense. I mean, if he's comfortable, I mean, we don't know what her career is. We don't know what his career is. He could be ambitious. He could be working really hard in his career, and she's still making 3 times more than him. Because she's making 3 times more than him doesn't mean he's lazy. However, if he's okay being, and no shade to anybody who's an Uber driver, but if he's okay with being an Uber driver and, you know, she's a CEO at her company and he's content for the rest of his life with just a mediocre, you know, Uber driving 4 hours a day and not putting in that extra work to elevate himself and to work on his purpose, then we can say, okay, yeah, he needs to step up. He needs to, reevaluate his priorities. But if he's at the top of his company and she just happens to be making more than him, to be emasculating him like that is no.
Yeah, I'll just be honest with you. I'm at the point now to where women's money does not matter nearly as much. Again, I know it's not the same for everybody, but as long as the dude is able to take care of himself, right? I mean, as long as he's not, leeching on to you and you paying for this, as long as he's taking care of yourself, taking care of himself, and still treating you right, then why emasculate him? Why have this attitude toward him? But yeah, it gets better. Let's go a little further.
He's a bitch. He's a bitch. And let me tell you something, guys. He bending over for his woman on the kitchen counter and getting fucked in his asshole, because there is no way that he can be a man earning less money than her. Nope.
I believe in gender roles, and I do believe some genders have a role. It comes from my culture and my religion as well.
Are you
personally, Muslim? Alhamdulillah. Personally, I couldn't be with a person who's staying at home and doing nothing and just cleaning and cooking. I'm sorry, I'll cheat on you.
But we don't know.
Ezo, like, you're calling my man a bitch because like he's happy that his wife's making more than money. He knows that he's not the breadwinner in the family. Like, this 21st century, like, the man doesn't have to be the breadwinner all the time. So he knows his role, he knows what he needs to do, but good little husband, man, like, bro, like, come on, big yourself up. You're looking after the kids and that.
No, that we don't know that he's doing.
And let me say this. I find it interesting that women always have something to say about traditional old-fashioned, and cooking and cleaning is too old-fashioned, and gender roles, but a man providing and making more money, that's traditional and a gender role. And as soon as he's not making more money, she takes that and runs with it, takes that to use that to disrespect him, to take his manhood away. So it's a catch-22. Which one is it? Do you want traditional or do you not want traditional? Do you want equality or do you not want equality?
And even taking money out of the equation, because a lot of these women can be like, oh, I make my own money. But let's talk about protection. You know, if a burglar comes down in the middle of the night, they're expecting the man to go downstairs and to protect the family and to take, to take a bullet for the family. But at the same time, like the most recent Kevin Samuels video, when the lady said that men are high maintenance, for lack of better words, men are too much.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, to wash and cook and clean for a man, that's just too much. And he brought up that point, a man has to risk his life. So many women want that traditional man who's going to protect, who is going to, as Black women, we always say, oh, we're not protected. Black men won't protect us. We want the men to protect us. But at the same time, we turn around and say, oh, if a man makes less money than us, then he's less than a man. Like it's ridiculous. And we need to start looking in the mirror and start like self-assessing. Like it's not. And then like watching these women, as the comments said, I mean, they're the fake this and the fake that and the fake this, and to be so entitled when you can't even come on in your face with your real eyelashes. It's like ridiculous.
Right. And that's another part of it. Like you mentioned earlier about the unrealistic expectations and the high expectations that women have for men these days is, absolutely insane. Let's see, we got somebody else jumping in the chat. Chuck E. Cheese is in the building, y'all. Come on, man. What you got to say to us, man? You been listening to the conversation? What you got to add?
That was my comment about the fake bodies, fake hair.
I figured that was you. Hey, can you get a little closer to your mic?
I'll bring the mic to me.
There you go.
Okay, do it sound better?
Yeah, you good, man. You good now.
Cool. Exactly, knucklehead. A woman's money. It can help.
You had something you wanted to add?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that a woman's money can help. I mean, nobody's looking at it like that. You know what I'm saying? On the man's front, But if a woman, I have seen a situation where if a woman makes more, she do think she wear the pants.
Oh, of course.
But feel different when the man make more. She don't want to be controlled.
Right. It's bad when your ladies start being in competition. Want to know how much you make an hour, trying to compare it to how much she make an hour, trying to see who make more. That's I've been in that situation before, and I'm like, you really trying to go penny for me when we supposed to be in this together? It makes absolute no sense to me. But yeah, let's go a little bit further.
We don't know that he's doing.
Quick question. Period.
Let me talk. Go on. Imagine.
Does your religion condone cheating though?
No, but
does your religion condone?
No, but I'm not religious. I'm not religious.
You just spoke about you care about.
No.
Ezo. Girl. I was feeling you, but then I lost you. Like I don't feel like I asked you, "Are you religious?" And you're saying no. I'm a bit confused. I personally don't feel like there should be designated gender roles. I understand if it's a part of your culture and your beliefs, I do hear that, but I just feel like it should be 50-50. We should both be playing a part. And, that's what's going to make it last, when both people are playing the parts and both people are putting in the same amount of effort.
It's not about cheating.
It's not about cheating. You said what?
But you can't pick and choose.
You guys, one person.
I wouldn't blame him because his job is to wash dishes. Like, why would you want to fuck?
No, but that's not his job, though. Wait, stop it. Like my man said, when you're in a relationship here, you have to understand there's a whole lot of things. And I've said this earlier before you, that in our generation, we want the nice stuff in a relationship here, but no one is prepared to put the work in. You've got to put the work in. If my wife is earning 3 times more than me, think about it. If I'm earning 60K, she's earning 3 times more. 60K is still good money.
60K. You're being nice. It could have been 20.
Wait, all of a sudden, we just
You're being generous. You're being generous. You assumed for your ego, you said 60, but we don't know what it is. It could be 20. It could be 20. Okay, and that's not okay.
No. The point I'm trying to make is this year. The point I'm trying to make is this year that there is more to relationship here than finance. Yeah. Okay. Wait. You can disagree. You can disagree. I'm not gonna.
A man is his money.
I'm not gonna dispute that. But let me tell you this now. Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, that's why some women, yeah, some women, yeah, will accept.
You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. A man is his money.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brad.
So as soon as I would hear that from her, then that I know how to categorize it. You know what I'm saying? That's just like a thief or anybody else. Once I hear the key points, I know how to deal with you then. If she thinks man is his money, we know that's the end of the conversation. She's no longer on my to-do list. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. But, you know, again, like I said earlier, I blame a lot of these guys for letting it happen. You know, just like we was talking on the panel the other week about what's her name? Blue Jazz, about her ex still playing. You know, that dude, he let it happen, whether or not he got it or whether or not he don't get. He gives her that entitlement. You know what I'm saying?
So certain dudes do certain whack stuff, right?
Yeah.
What they got to do with the next man?
Man, it got a lot to do with him because
as soon as you see it, what you gonna do? Stay with her? Fight with her?
Of course not.
Let her do that in her world. We all free. Let her do that in her world.
Right. And go ahead, Chantel.
It's interesting because I mean, based on how I don't want to sound. I'm going to try to say this as politically as correct as I can. The conversation wouldn't even have started, especially a conversation about relationship, because just looking at them and looking at their appearance, they're not presenting themselves in a way that we say men want. All right, so we can't be coming to the table talking about relationships and talking what men supposed to do and what men not supposed to do when they are overweight, they are wearing the fake lashes, they are wearing the weave, they're not doing the bare minimum that they should come with. So a lot of times, you know, we'll see these women, they're just talking, but at the end of the day, can they get the man that they say they want? It's just empty words. It's empty calories.
And just going by their appearance alone, right? The way I don't like to discriminate, nothing like that. But looking at them, I think all they thinking about is money or the D. So that's
exactly. It's
money or the D.
Yeah, appearance matter. I mean, the one with the cleavage, that's all. It's like, why are we even having a conversation about hookup, or are we having a conversation about marriage? And if we're having a conversation about marriage, are you presenting yourself like a wife?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
and people try to be like, oh, it ain't about where I work. Yes, it is. Because if I was wearing a police outfit and you needed help, you would say, police, stop, please help me. And I'm like, why are you judging me? Just because I look like a cop
doesn't mean I'm a cop.
But in reality, you know, perception is reality. So come on.
Right. Exactly.
Like the woman who said that thing about money, she looked like she looking for money, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So hey.
Yeah. You know, believe it or not, it is a sugar daddy culture out here, sugar baby lifestyle that a lot of them, you know, like to live, and all of them look exactly like that. But that stuff ain't gonna last not long.
I'll tell you why it lasts, because men get older. And if you get older and you want to participate in this, you're gonna sugar daddy yourself.
No, well, yeah, men get older, but it's not gonna last for the ladies. Because they get older. Yeah, they get older, and then it's gonna be in, you know, the next young hot, you know, 25-year-old or whatever, you know, coming around the block next. Yeah, let's go just a little bit further. I think they get to.
It's his money. Did I lie?
Some women would accept to be cheated on and to be treated like trash. Oh, but it looks after me. It spends money on me. It does that. That's not what relationship is.
Okay, so women are judged on their beauty and their aesthetics, but men are judged on their pocket and how much money he has. So if a man is not a breadwinner and he's not taking care of his family, I'm questioning his manhood. What's going on?
Yes, sis. You know what? Ikra is just more bold with it, but she's speaking facts. A man is his money. Without money, if you are a man and you've got a dick, then you're worthless. Okay,
She look
you
crazy.
are worthless. If your bank account is very small, then you as a man, your self-worth is low. Okay.
Can I just say, money brings power in a relationship here. If she's earning 3 times more, she feel like she can.
She's the man.
No one's gonna feel like this bitch. Hold on, can I just say, if she's earning more and she's a breadwinner for the family, she's gonna feel like she can come and be like, oh, you can't go there, you can't go there, and she's gonna look.
Okay.
Wait.
I disagree, bro.
How can you pat in your girl when she's earning more money?
That can never be me. Do you understand?
Yeah, so that chick looked crazy.
So to me, it's systematic, right? We
Mhm.
live in. They're not in the U.S., but U.S. is based off of probably where they from, Britain or whatever, right? So we live in a capitalistic state or country or whatever.
Mhm.
So our country do set it up about money. So that's
Yeah.
a new Western culture thing where your money is power. It ain't about saving, protecting, helping, being there for you, protecting, all the manly things that's really manly. It is about money. So I can see where they're coming from. That's a systematic thing that's placed on people,
Mhm.
especially us being black. And we know coming from nothing, money is a little bit of power. I mean, that's just how it is. But that's why the divorce rate, I think, is so high, because if you do adapt to that or adopt that way of thinking, you ain't gonna never have nothing worth nothing.
Right. And that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. If it were a situation to where we would trust each other a little bit more in a relationship, and not have to fight about finances all the time, and women worried about the man just somebody taking what's theirs, or not having enough for a backup plan or moving on or whatever, we would, I believe, see the divorce rate go down, because I believe it's around 80% of divorces are filed because of finances, and that finances play a big part. And whether women want to admit it or not, they want a man that makes more than them, and at the bare minimum equal to them. And if they don't, they're not going to respect them.
So I'll tell you why that ain't true.
Tell me why.
You can have all the money in the world. Your girl gonna cheat. You gonna cheat. That's just how it works. It's not the money. Money is a big factor, but especially in our culture, we're gluttonous. We want more and more. Look at the internet. You can get on a dating site. Girl can have 100 dudes hitting them up. You might yawn different. You might snore. They got access. Everybody has access to so much more now. And we want so much more. That's just what it is. So that's the reason for the divorce rate. You might come in the house one day. It could be a perfect marriage for 20 years. Now you're a little fat. You a little out of shape. They want some in shape, and they got access to that in-shape dude. So they gonna bounce to him. You can't fulfill their needs.
What you saying? She doesn't like the way you yawn?
Look, hey. I didn't been in that situation. I was like, oh, you don't respect. I gotta go to work tomorrow. You being loud. I'm like, I yawned. I couldn't help that.
Yo,
I was like, I said, oh, should I say, I mean, what should I have done?
Right.
But even my grandma, I remember she made a comment one time. She was watching House Hunters, and House Hunters showing you the best houses, best situations. Your granddaddy never bought me none of that. I said, Mom, he added the carport, the extra rooms, the bedroom, the furniture, the carpet. I said, what you contribute? I was like, what's your beef? Like, what's your beef? What did you help him out and add all the stuff you wanted? I'm like, so what's the beef? You didn't do it. He didn't do it, but he did something else. What's your problem? You right.
It's so funny you said that, because I was just having a conversation with my sister earlier this week, and we were talking about how social media influence women to think, to be ungrateful for their men. Someone posted flowers, and she was like, oh, it's the small things that matters. But the week prior, her boyfriend flew her out. And it's like she's saying like, oh, it's the small things that matter, bringing it off like, oh, she's ungrateful for the fact that he took her on a birthday trip because someone else posts flowers. So we tend to look outside and say, oh, look, their grass is greener. He's watering their grass with, I don't know, distilled water. Why you don't do it? While your man over here watering your grass with spring water, but you are so focused on somebody else's distilled water that you're ungrateful.
I just went through that situation on Mother's Day. So I buy the flowers, I buy the balloons, I come cook, I keep the kids, I do everything, right? Everything. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's on me. Plus gifts, shoes and shades, right? Flowers, whatever. That Mother's Day was horrible. She was like, I wanted some jewelry. So I was in a bad mood all day. And I'm like, what? I said, you know how selfish that is? I'm trying to make your day as best as possible. And you were mad at me because you wanted jewelry. And I'm like, I'm cool with that, except I asked you what you want. And you said, get me what you think I want. So I going to work tomorrow. Here goes some new work shoes. Like some nice shoes for work. Here goes some shades because I know you like shades, but you wanted jewelry, so our whole day got to be ruined. No, it's that ungratefulness, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it is, man. And men are expected to bring all of this to the table, do all of this, and then we supposed to turn backflips when a woman cook. Come on, man.
And the problem is, most men, to be honest, these days we cook.
Yeah,
I'm the chef.
I cook a lot.
I'm the chef around here.
You know, but
I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of men even cook better than a lot of women. Jamaican men can cook.
Look, when her kids stood up and said, "Brad is the man," Brad is the man, they was like, "This is the best food I ever ate." That was a problem that day.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, look, I throw down. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
And see, you brought up the financials, Jeff, and I'm like, you know my financial situation, and you know what I bring to the table. So that's why I say your theory was flawed, because I'm like, I meet all the check marks, and it still ain't right.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? That don't make sense. So that's why I say stop those relationships with those kind of people.
I hear you. Go ahead, Chantel.
What I think is like, yeah, you're bringing in the check and yeah, it's still not right. I honestly think it's influence. I mean, back in your grandma days, she saw that it was the TV. In these days, it's social media. We're seeing what the other person is doing and we're wanting that instead of just being grateful. It's that Disney World narrative that, you know, Prince Charming should be perfect and he should do everything that our imagination tells us that he should do.
And see, this is the thing about Prince Charming. Prince Charming these days will be called a B word because he's too soft. He's doing everything right. Why ain't you fighting with me?
Right.
Am I lying, Carter?
You're not lying, man. You telling the truth.
They want to argue.
Right, and get mad when you don't.
And I don't argue. So they mad all the time.
Exactly. And that's something I do not do. I'm not going to go back and forth with you about me not responding the way you want me to respond, anything else to that nature. I'm just not going to do it. And, you know, it's sad that a lot of women have even said that they feel like their man don't love them if they don't argue back.
Yeah, I've been through that.
Is that not insane? I'm showing you I love you.
The system we go through, though, we come from slavery. We call each other niggas. Think about it. Like listen to our music now, because I don't want to say our music, because you had music of past time and it shaped every other genre, but they stick up with rap. You see what I'm saying? And rap at first was good. Now Shit, terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Look at our conditioning. So can you blame them?
When you put it in that perspective, I guess in a way you can't. But at the same time, you know, these days it's hard to hold people accountable too. You know what I'm saying?
holds each other accountable now.
Well, exactly. And you know, when you try to hold somebody accountable, people tell you stay out of their business, or you know, you this, you would pick me, whatever. And it's people who would hold others accountable have given up on them because it's fallen on deaf ears. Chantel, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I mean that's to that point, holding each other accountable and you know, somewhat highlighting our flaws, not to bash or shame anybody, but you know, to just bring it to the forefront to hopefully start doing better, having better results in that community. But it's like, oh, still it's mind your business or you're pick me or whatever. And it's like, so we're gonna continue to have these patterns. Not to highlight Black women's flaws, but for so long, all the attention was put on Black men and what they're doing wrong in the relationship. And, you know, we are painted as these perfect women who do nothing wrong, and it's always the man's fault, and, you know, blame Black men for everything. Until we start looking in the mirror, we'll never see change.
They're following the world's schematic, right? Ain't that how it work? Blame the Black man. The white man back in the day, the white lady back in the day get freaky with the Black man, he raped her. You know what I'm saying? It's systematic. Like everybody's following the program. That's just what they do, and the program works perfectly. Perfectly.
Yeah.
The news act like our hoods are so bad. Growing up, I never seen nobody shot. Of course, we had the cracker. I never seen a bad neighborhood growing up because we all was from those neighborhoods. It was all good in my city. But if you watch the news, it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
They the ones, though, that got the dead bodies. They the ones who plotting and planning against you. They doing everything crooked. But it's us still, and then the Black dude, and it's like, my life is interesting because every day I go, you know, wake up or deal with folks, even with my family, it's proving them wrong about what they think. And it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I got a good job. I do good. And they call me the white child.
Right.
So if somebody doing wrong, that's my Black son.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know how stupid that sounds?
Yeah.
If I want to go ski, I want to go surf, I want to go swim, I want to go, that's white. And it's like, how is that white?
Mm-hmm.
I said, to me, what's white is I want to screw you over.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make you feel less than. That's how I feel. I want to belittle you. Not all white people, you know what I'm coming from. That's just a systematic thing I'm saying. It's like the folks that's doing all the tricks are doing the bad things. The folks that's trying and proving folks wrong, that's Black to me. So I hate that kind of conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you 100%. And I'm gonna make this point, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Chantel said something earlier about Instagram and people having so much access, and then you said, Chuck, that you never saw a bad neighborhood growing up, and then that brings up another good point, because a lot of us grew up the same way, you know, not knowing that we were in the condition that we in, because that's all we saw. So if that's all you see and that's all you exposed to, then that's all you're gonna know, and you'll be satisfied with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought everybody used to put the rag in the as the stopper in the bathtub. Everybody was doing that, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't know it was something that was actually supposed to be a stopper. We thought that's how it was supposed to go. No. That's how everybody did it.
To me, that sounds like, hey, you was poor. I'm just playing.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of us were poor and we didn't know it, because that's how everybody was doing it.
Look, we
across
poor,
the street.
but we had a stopper.
But yeah, I think it's all about
Yeah, like you're saying, you got a hole in your sock, fold that thing.
Right.
You know, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, the more you're exposed to and the more you see, the less satisfied, you'll realize your stuff ain't as tight as you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I thought this was a good discussion, you guys. Chantel, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching on the replay, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And go on over to Chantel's channel and subscribe to her platform too. If you have not done so already, I'll make sure I link her information down below. Y'all got anything y'all want to say to the people before we leave, Chantel?
No, just thank you. Thanks for having me. As always, this was a great conversation. I strongly believe that the more we have these kind of conversations, the better we are going to see in the Black community. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind, especially older women, 30 plus. It's all about the kids. It's all about the young girls, the 14-year-olds growing up, starting dating and curious about what men want. So the more we put out contents like this, the more we'll help. And then hopefully eventually drown out those anti-Black men people in the space. Yeah. But again, JD, thank you so much for having me. And Chuck, it was nice meeting you.
All right, go ahead and say something to the people, Chuck.
So we got 5 minutes, so I want to extend these whole 5 minutes. So what? Well, 4 now.
Go ahead.
What I want to say is, I want both of you to tell me, and I'm gonna tell my part first. What's your purpose on the internet as far as your channel? Like with Chantel, I don't know what she do on her channel, so I would like what do you do? Because I don't know. JD, I know what you do, but tell the people. And for me, Chuck E. Cheese, Emmanuel Samuels, whatever you want to call me, I'm here for entertainment, but you're gonna learn a lesson with my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep mine short, but go ahead, y'all. Tell me what y'all doing online.
Ladies first.
Okay. Basically, I use my channel to speak to my younger self. Relationship advice things I wish I knew when I was younger. I basically talk about those conversations. I talk to women who want to learn how to love and work with a Black man. That's my goal, and I wish I had taught that what men actually want when I was younger. So that's basically what I use my channel to, in hopes that younger girls can hear this and change the narrative in the Black community.
Amen.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, for those that don't know, my reason for this platform is to try to figure out what the disconnect is between the Black men and the Black women. Women don't seem to know what men want. Men don't seem to understand what the women want, or not matching up to what the women want. So I'm trying to see if we can find a common ground to get more Black couples and Black families together, whether it be a formerly divorced couple getting back together, putting their family back together, or a young lady learning to build with a young man and trying to get the men to be the best version of themselves. Okay. Make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. It is a portion of the Black community that a lot of people would call dusty or brokies. That's not what we're dealing with over here. We're dealing with the Black men that want to be in relationships, want to be married, want kids, and want to have a legacy and a relationship with a Black woman, and the Black woman with the Black man. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. That's the platform we're trying to build.
So would y'all be opposed to having a super fight card?
What you mean?
People who, because it sounds like all of our stuff is aligned in what we're trying to do. That the goal is to build. Would you want to have a super fight card for people on the opposite side?
Oh yeah,
and have a debate and just go at it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm all for it.
Get to the root cause. You know what I'm saying? Get to it.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Make stuff happen.
As I said, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I respect everybody's viewpoint and however they want to think. To debate people who think opposite of me, it's so draining. especially these older women who are just want to blame men for everything, who want to blame the patriarchy for everything, who just want to like. It's so draining. And I mean, it's my energy is so sensitive where one conversation with a woman or somebody like that takes me out for the whole week. So.
Mine too, because I'm in like IT, cybersecurity, whatever, and it was so easy. Like once you know what to do, right? So if you tell somebody on the outside how to become, successful, you start to realize nobody's listening to you, like nobody, right? And it discourages you. It's like, hey, do what you do. I'm cool. However, I think it is productive to at least try. Like you said, you want to talk to the younger you, right? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of younger yous out there. And some of them might need their teeth pulled.
Yeah.
They need. It is draining because nobody want to hear the truth. Mm-hmm. But I think it is productive. So y'all think about that. That's just something off the top.
Okay. Well, y'all put it down in the comments and share your thoughts below. Would y'all like to see that? Y'all want us to, get somebody opposing views over on the channel for a little conversation and debate? Let us know what you think down below. For Chantel, for Mr. Chuck E. Cheese, this has been another Chucky. This has been another episode of Love and Relationships, y'all. I'm gonna put Chantel's information down below. Y'all go check it out. Until next time, we out. Peace.